Have you ever felt like giving up? Like the fire that once burned inside you has dimmed, and every step feels like a struggle? Here's the truth: motivation isn't something that just appears, it's something we must actively create, nurture, and sustain. But here's the real reason why you must watch this speech. Till the end, I'm going to show you how to turn motivation into an unstoppable force in your life. Motivation doesn't have to be fleeting, and you don't have to wait for inspiration to strike. You can own it and make it work for you every single day. We all know how difficult it can be to keep going when challenges pile up and goals feel miles away. But what separates those who reach their goals from those who don't is simply the ability to stay motivated even when the excitement fades. Motivation is one of the most powerful forces in our lives, yet it can be elusive, often showing up when we least expect it and vanishing when we need it the most. It's easy to believe that motivation is something that comes naturally, something we either have or we don't. But the truth is, motivation isn't a static, permanent state, it's dynamic, something that fluctuates based on our environment, mindset, and actions. Understanding motivation is crucial because it allows us to harness it when we need it most. The first step in understanding motivation is realizing that it's not something that magically appears out of thin air. Motivation often begins with a spark, a sense of desire or excitement about a goal, dream, or purpose. But that spark can easily fade if not carefully nurtured. It's common to feel motivated when we first set a goal, but over time, as the challenges emerge or as the initial excitement wears off, motivation tends to fade away. This is when many people quit or give up because they mistake the temporary lack of motivation for a lack of ability or desire. But this is where the understanding of motivation can shift everything. Motivation is an internal force, but it can also be influenced by external factors. It's not just about having a big dream or setting lofty goals, it's about how we engage with those goals on a daily basis. Motivation thrives in the presence of clarity, progress, and action. When we know exactly why we're doing something, when we have a deep emotional connection to our goals, our motivation has a solid foundation. But that connection must be actively maintained. One of the key elements of motivation is taking action, especially when we don't feel like it. The reality is, motivation often comes after you start moving, not before. It's like waiting for the perfect moment to begin. It never happens. It's in the doing, in the small steps and incremental progress that motivation is reignited. Once you get into motion, your momentum builds and motivation follows. Another essential factor is that motivation is often fueled by results, but results don't always show up immediately, which can make it easy to feel discouraged or uninspired. This is where patience and persistence come into play. Motivation thrives on progress, even small progress. The key is to recognize that motivation doesn't always appear in the form of big victories or major achievements. Sometimes it's the small, seemingly insignificant steps that matter the most. By focusing on these smaller wins, you can build a sense of accomplishment that propels you forward, even when your motivation feels low. It's also important to remember that motivation is deeply linked to your environment and energy. You might find that your motivation skyrockets when you're in a positive, supportive environment and diminishes when surrounded by negativity or distractions. Your mental and physical energy play a massive role in fueling your motivation. When you feel energized, whether physically through exercise or mentally through positive thoughts, your motivation will naturally be higher. So motivation is not just a fleeting feeling, it's a dynamic force that can be cultivated, nurtured, and amplified. By understanding its true nature, we can stop waiting for motivation to show up on its own and instead take steps to ignite it from within. Whether it's by clarifying your purpose, creating momentum through small actions, or fostering the right environment, you have the power to build and sustain motivation in your life. It's all about seeing motivation as a process, not a result. When you make that shift, you'll discover just how capable you are of staying motivated, no matter what challenges lie ahead. Clarity is the driving force behind sustained motivation. When you are clear about your purpose and the reasons behind your goals, motivation becomes much easier to maintain. Without clarity, motivation is like a boat without a rudder, drifting aimlessly, subject to the whims of external forces. But with a clear vision of where you're going and why it matters, motivation becomes the wind in your sails, propelling you forward even when the seas get rough. The key to staying motivated is understanding why you are pursuing a goal in the first place. Many people set goals based on what they think they should do or what others expect of them rather than what they truly desire. This can lead to burnout, frustration, and ultimately a loss of motivation when things don't go as planned. But when you connect deeply with your why, when your goal resonates with your values, passions, and beliefs, you have a source of motivation that is far more powerful than just a desire to succeed. Clarity helps you dig deep into what truly matters to you. It allows you to ask yourself tough questions. Why does this goal matter? How will achieving it impact my life? What will I feel when I accomplish it? These questions help you create an emotional connection to your goal, and it's this emotional connection that fuels lasting motivation. When you're clear about your purpose, every challenge you face becomes an opportunity to move closer to your vision, rather than an obstacle you must overcome. It's important to note that clarity isn't a one-time discovery, it's an ongoing process. Your motivations may shift over time. And that's okay. What matters is that you continue to check in with your goals, reassessing them, and making sure they still align with your deeper purpose. This ensures that you don't lose sight of what truly matters, even when distractions or setbacks try to pull you off course. In fact, clarity helps you navigate those very setbacks because when your goals are clear and compelling, you're less likely to let temporary challenges derail you. Having clarity also allows you to set specific, actionable goals that keep you focused. Vague goals like I want to be healthier or I want to be successful are not clear enough to sustain motivation. However, a clear goal like I will exercise for 30 minutes every day for the next 3 months, or I will write 1,000 words a day until I finish my novel provides a concrete direction. It gives you a clear path forward and allows you to track progress, which is essential for maintaining motivation. Moreover, clarity helps you make decisions. Every day you're faced with countless choices, but when you're clear about your purpose, making decisions becomes easier. You can ask yourself, does this align with my goal? And will this move me closer to my vision? Having a clear purpose means you're more likely to say no to distractions and stay focused on what truly matters, which is essential for maintaining momentum. Ultimately, clarity is about aligning your mind, your actions, and your goals with your core values and desires. It's about knowing exactly where you're headed and why that destination matters to you. When you have this level of clarity, motivation becomes less of an unpredictable force and more of a consistent, reliable companion on your journey. With clarity, you'll find that staying motivated is not only possible, it becomes inevitable. Motivation is not a one-time event or something that will simply arrive without effort. It is a constant process of action. One of the most powerful ways to maintain motivation over the long haul is through the cultivation of daily habits. Small, consistent actions build momentum, and momentum is the key to sustaining motivation. It's easy to think that motivation comes in bursts of inspiration or willpower, but in reality, it's the steady, daily efforts that create the foundation for ongoing drive and success. Daily habits shape the direction of your life. The way you start your day, the routines you follow, and the decisions you make throughout your day all contribute to your motivation levels. A single decision to take action may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, these small, positive actions compound into massive results. When you consistently show up for yourself, whether it's writing 1 page a day, exercising for just 15 minutes, or dedicating time to learning something new, you're laying the groundwork for long-term motivation. These habits don't just create progress, they also solidify your sense of accomplishment, which reinforces your desire to continue pushing forward. It's easy to lose motivation when you're waiting for a large, dramatic change or when your progress doesn't match your expectations. But motivation doesn't always come from grand achievements. Sometimes it's the small, everyday wins that keep you on track. That's why focusing on creating habits that align with your goals is so important. Even when the end result seems distant, the act of showing up consistently reaffirms your commitment to the process. And with each small victory, your belief in your ability to succeed strengthens, creating a powerful feedback loop that propels you forward. Additionally, daily habits create a structure for your day, which eliminates the need to constantly make decisions about what to do next. Decision fatigue is real, and the more decisions you have to make, the harder it becomes to stay focused and motivated. By creating a set of habits that you follow each day, you reduce the mental effort needed to make those decisions. You don't have to waste energy wondering if today is the day you'll work towards your goal, you just do it. Habits give you the clarity to act automatically. And when you can act without hesitation, you are more likely to stay motivated because you remove the friction that comes from indecision or procrastination. Consistency is key here. Motivation thrives on consistency, not perfection. There will be days when you don't feel like following through, when the temptation to skip a workout or put off a project is strong. But it's those very days when your habits matter the most. On days when your motivation feels low, your habits are what carry you through. They become the safety net that ensures you continue moving forward, even when your emotions or energy levels are wavering. In fact, over time, habits become ingrained in your identity. The more you practice them, the more they become a natural part of who you are. When you become someone who writes every day or exercises regularly, motivation becomes less about feeling inspired and more about being committed to your own standards. Your daily actions reflect your values, and when you consistently act in alignment with those values, your motivation no longer feels like something you need to summon. It simply becomes a natural expression of who you are. Daily habits are the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. They allow you to make incremental progress, build momentum, and stay on course when motivation feels fleeting. By creating habits that serve your goals, you can transform motivation from a fleeting emotion into a steady, reliable force that propels you forward. Motivation thrives in the face of adversity, not in the absence of it. Life is full of challenges, obstacles, and setbacks that can make it feel impossible to stay motivated. Yet, the key to maintaining motivation is not in avoiding these difficulties, but in learning how to navigate them. It's through resilience, the ability to keep going despite challenges, that we find the true power of motivation. Resilience is what allows us to face obstacles head-on and use them as fuel for our journey instead of letting them stop us in our tracks. When things get tough, it's natural to feel discouraged or to question whether it's worth continuing. But this is where resilience comes in. It helps you reframe these moments not as failures, but as opportunities to grow stronger. Every setback is a lesson, and every challenge is a chance to build a deeper understanding of yourself and your goals. Resilience is about developing a mindset that views problems as temporary rather than permanent, and that understands that each difficulty is a necessary part of the process. When you embrace resilience, you stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and instead recognize them as stepping stones on the path to success. It's important to realize that setbacks don't mean you're failing, they simply mean you're human. Motivation doesn't exist in a perfect world where everything goes smoothly. It thrives when things go wrong, and you have to dig deep to find the strength to keep moving forward. This is the true test of your commitment to your goals. When you push through despite challenges, your motivation becomes even stronger. You learn that your ability to keep going is more important than any temporary setback. Moreover, resilience helps you stay motivated by allowing you to bounce back more quickly after challenges. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to become overwhelmed and lose sight of your goals. But resilient people know how to recover, adapt, and keep moving. They don't stay down for long. The ability to bounce back quickly from setbacks keeps your momentum intact, and momentum is key to sustaining motivation. Every time you get back up, you build more emotional and mental strength, which makes it easier to stay motivated in the future. Resilience also connects deeply with the idea of progress. When you face difficulties, the natural instinct might be to focus on how far you are from your goal, but true resilience teaches you to focus on what you've learned and how far you've come. Each setback, no matter how challenging, teaches you something valuable. You may learn a new skill, develop a new perspective, or gain insight into your strengths and weaknesses. These lessons are what sustain motivation because they allow you to see that you are always progressing, even if it's not in the way you expected. Furthermore, resilience requires patience. Motivation isn't something that will always show up immediately. Sometimes it takes time for your efforts to pay off, and resilience is what helps you keep going when you're not seeing instant results. It's the ability to trust in the process and stay committed even when the outcome is uncertain. By practicing resilience, you can learn to embrace the long-term view and understand that every small effort is part of a larger picture. In the end, resilience is the glue that holds motivation together. It's the quality that enables you to keep pushing forward, even when the going gets tough. When you develop resilience, setbacks become part of your journey, not something that stops you from reaching your goals. Instead of avoiding challenges, you'll learn to face them with confidence, knowing that each obstacle you overcome makes you more motivated and determined to succeed. Resilience doesn't just help you stay motivated, it turns motivation into a permanent part of who you are. Motivation is deeply influenced by the environments we surround ourselves with. Our physical spaces, the people we interact with, and the resources available to us can either fuel or drain our energy and drive. When we are in an environment that is supportive, positive, and aligned with our goals, motivation naturally thrives. On the other hand, a negative, distracting, or uninspiring environment can make it incredibly difficult to stay motivated, even if we have clear goals and a strong desire to succeed. One of the most powerful ways to sustain motivation is by intentionally creating an environment that supports and nurtures your drive. This begins with the people you choose to spend time with. The influence of those around you cannot be overstated. If you are constantly surrounded by individuals who are negative, unsupportive, or dismissive of your goals, it can be difficult to stay motivated. People who drain your energy or create doubt in your mind can easily cause you to question your own abilities and the worth of your goals. In contrast, surrounding yourself with supportive, inspiring, and like-minded individuals can provide the encouragement and accountability you need to stay motivated. These people not only lift you up, but also challenge you to push yourself further and remind you of your potential when you start to doubt it. But the influence of your environment goes beyond just the people you interact with. Your physical surroundings also play a significant role in shaping your motivation. For instance, if you are working in a cluttered, disorganized space, it can be difficult to concentrate and stay focused. A clean, organized, and inspiring workspace, on the other hand, can boost your energy and creativity. When your environment is conducive to productivity, you are more likely to stay motivated to take action toward your goals. This might mean setting up a quiet, distraction-free area to work, having the tools and resources you need readily available, or surrounding yourself with motivational quotes or images that remind you of why you're working toward your goals. In addition to people and physical space, the resources available to you can also shape your motivation. Having the right tools and information can make a huge difference in your ability to stay on track. For example, if you're pursuing a fitness goal but lack access to a gym or the equipment you need, it can be easy to lose motivation. But when you have access to the necessary resources, whether it's workout gear, a study guide, or even financial support, it becomes much easier to stay motivated. This is why it's important to ensure that your environment is equipped with everything you need to succeed, whether that's through education, technology, or financial resources. Creating an environment that supports motivation also means eliminating distractions that hinder your focus. This could be as simple as turning off your phone, finding a quiet place to work, or setting boundaries with people who might disrupt your focus. The fewer distractions you face, the easier it becomes to stay motivated and make progress. Moreover, surrounding yourself with positive energy, whether through uplifting music, calming visuals, or activities that boost your mood, can help keep your spirits high and your motivation intact. Ultimately, motivation is not just something you conjure up from within, it is influenced by the world around you. By actively shaping your environment both externally and internally, you create a space where motivation can thrive. Whether it's surrounding yourself with the right people, setting up an inspiring workspace, or ensuring you have the resources to succeed, your environment plays a crucial role in helping you maintain the drive to keep moving toward your goals. When you invest in a supportive and motivating environment, you lay the groundwork for sustainable success. Celebrating progress, no matter how small, is a powerful tool for sustaining motivation. Too often, people focus solely on the end goal, thinking that motivation will only be truly justified when they reach it. However, this mindset can lead to frustration and burnout. When we place all our focus on the distant finish line, we overlook the small victories along the way, which are crucial for maintaining motivation in the long term. Recognizing and celebrating these smaller wins can not only keep your spirits high, but also fuel your determination to continue moving forward. It's easy to become discouraged when progress feels slow, especially when the larger goal seems far out of reach. However, every step you take is progress, even if it doesn't feel like a major breakthrough. By celebrating these small milestones, you reinforce the habit of success and build positive momentum. For instance, if you're working toward a fitness goal, a small victory might be sticking to your workout plan for an entire week, or even simply pushing through a difficult exercise session. If you're building a business, it could be landing your first client, completing a major project, or simply refining your skills. Each of these moments deserves recognition because they represent growth, effort, and forward movement. The act of celebrating progress not only boosts your motivation, but it also strengthens your belief in yourself. When you acknowledge your achievements, no matter how modest, you begin to associate the pursuit of your goal with positive feelings, reinforcing the idea that you are capable and that the effort is worth it. These celebrations serve as reminders that you are on the right path, which fuels your desire to keep going. They shift your focus from what's still left to be done and instead highlight how much you've already accomplished, which helps build confidence and resilience. Celebrating progress also helps break the cycle of perfectionism that can often hinder motivation. When perfection is the only acceptable outcome, motivation can quickly disappear if things don't go exactly as planned. But by celebrating even the smallest achievements, you learn to appreciate the journey itself, not just the end result. This shift in perspective helps you let go of unrealistic expectations and allows you to enjoy the process, making it easier to stay motivated in the face of challenges. Another important aspect of celebrating progress is that it helps prevent burnout. When you're working tirelessly toward a big goal, it can be easy to get lost in the grind and lose sight of the progress you've made. By taking moments to pause and reflect on how far you've come, you create space for gratitude and acknowledgement, which replenishes your energy and emotional reserves. These small celebrations act as a reminder that hard work does pay off, and they encourage you to keep pushing through when the journey gets tough. Additionally, celebrating progress can create a sense of community and connection with others who share similar goals. Whether you're sharing your victories with friends, family, or a support group, the act of celebrating progress can foster positive reinforcement from those around you. This external validation can further boost your motivation as it provides an additional layer of accountability and encouragement. Ultimately, celebrating progress is an essential component of sustained motivation. It reminds you that success is not a destination but a journey made up of many small steps. By recognizing and celebrating the victories along the way, you create a positive feedback loop that fuels your desire to keep going. Each celebration, no matter how small, builds your confidence, strengthens your resilience, and propels you closer to your ultimate goal.